Alright, here we are on the grid for the Challenge Cup race with the SCCA's Fun One at the WATKINS Glen. Why the Fun One? Saturday is the 3.4 mile road course with the boot. Sunday is a 2.45 mile 7-turn Nascar course. Quite the different tracks. Saturday, my camera didn't work, but in my car I qualified on pole and finished 5th. Not a bad day, I guess. Bill Hannum won, Trevor Carmody 2nd, Sam Ryan finished 3rd, Tim Seeger 4th, I was 5th, Dean Curtis 6th. We all pretty much came across the start-finish line in a pack, in a group, maybe a second separating us. So, why am I in Chris's car now in the grid for Sunday's race? Well, Chris had to leave to get his one flight to Albuquerque to meet Ed because they had to leave for Japan. So because of a red flag delay on track, it backed us up, and he was not going to make his flight if he were to race, so he had to go. I get in my car and my car won't start, so everybody goes up to the grid. Bruce McIntosh is there. We attempt to get my car going, but we decide, hey, Chris isn't using his, let's jump in his car. So I jumped in his car, drove up to the grid with just a few minutes left. Got Trina to radio up to the tower to sort this out, tell them who I was, what car I was in, and because of the lack of time, the tower said I should start in the back. I would have had no problem with that, but the grid marshal said there just wasn't enough time to reorganize without taking a risk of, delaying the start. I get that, so he said leave where it is. So here I am pulling out 17th of 27th. So I'll take that. I would have started 7th. Qualifying, I had issues as well with my car. Couldn't get it started. Found the fuel filter leaking, and Ray and Luke fixed that. I got on track for a few laps, and like I said, I qualified 7th, but my car is now sitting. Watkins Glen is a pretty cool track, and if you're a racer, there's a lot of history here. Well, even if you're not a racer, but you can go on and on with the names of famous race car drivers that have driven here. Racing started here on a street course in 1948. Ran for a few years. They opened a permanent track in 1956. Formula One raced here from 1961 to 1980. Famous parties in the bog. My sister-in-law Doris, she would even come up from the city with her friends. None of them were race fans, but it was a thing to do. They'd come up and party in the bog. I think the largest concert in history was held here. And very interesting track, a lot of fun. Open up the S's, warming the tires, warming the brakes, warming the brains. Emily Ryan in front. Dale Rader in front of her. I don't know everybody, so forgive me if I don't get your names right. Will Carter driving. Right off the bat, I can tell Chris's car feels different than my car. It's heavier. I think there's a lot more caster in his car than mine. It's harder to turn. I think that initially causes me to think the car understeers. It takes me half a lap, few turns to figure out that this takes a little different driving than my car. But very powerful. Mitchell Ferguson, Mitchell motor in that car. My car and this car, equal power. Can't say enough good things about Mitchell and his motors and reliability and power that he's putting in these things. So here we are side by side already. No more time to warm tires. Line up, get behind the pace car. Jack Herberger up there in the Zero. That was my old Walmart. I drove that for a bunch of years. It's a good car. So I figured a little commentary would make this video maybe a little more interesting. So now we're all looking for that green flag. Starter stand's a little hard to see here, but you see it, and you can hear the green is out. Here we go. I immediately see a gap, and I can immediately feel that his car is at pretty much the same power as my car. So we dive into turn 1. Picked up a couple spots already. And we have Bill Hannum on the right, Kevin Higgins in front of us. Starting to put a little gap on the cars behind us already. It's steep going up these S's. The video does not do it justice. Video is sort of flatten everything out. That's a steep going up the S's. Heading into the bus stop. Get to about 100 miles an hour and let off. Back on the power as soon as possible. Get the rear of the car steady. There was a gap that closed and I had to abandon ship. All's good. And instead of going straight there into the boot, we go right. By the time we get to, I guess it's turn 6 up here, we're almost at terminal velocity. I'd say about 110, I think I saw in Trevor's video on the Smarty Cam. See, here's where I'm thinking, boy, this car is understeering, but I just needed to figure out how to drive it. It looks like the cars in front of me have gotten away a little bit, and with slicks, I think I would start to get a little nervous, but with our radios on, we throw off quite a wake of air, and the draft is huge, so I just figure I just need to nail a few turns like that, I guess. Overcooked a little bit, and catch right back up, definitely in the draft now. You can see the gap behind me has increased a bit to Jack. He may have lost our draft. At least that's what we're thinking at this point. That's what I'm hoping at this point. See the cars move around a little bit. There's a crown in the road. My car was definitely sensitive to the crown as I drove over it, kind of where that seam line is. It moved me to the right or moved me to the left without me making any steering corrections. Gotta respect each other going in there. That curbing is rough. Kevin jumped over it, had the other floor, had a good run on him. You see we're starting to fan out up there. Got a little bump draft there, which I'll tell you, it makes a difference. Accelerate forward, you move forward, you're gonna go on an RPM. Alright, got the apex that time. You get it right, you can pretty much just breathe off the gas and back on the gas again. Same thing here. Alright. Let's get to racing. Alright, we'll loosen entry. Get some regular curves on exit. Keep your foot in it though. A mile worth of parking lot out there on the other side of turn 1. Used to be gravel, but they paved it. So the draft is huge. You pull up on the cars in front of you and think, man, they're going so slow, I need to lift. Why are they going so slow? But no, it's just the power of the draft. This gets bumpy in here, especially when you get close to the flag stand inside here. That curbing's bumpy, you have to be careful. A lot of grip though. All fourth gear in this configuration, no shifting at all, unless maybe in turn 1 you get bogged down. So I think we're all just sort of figuring things out at this point, sorting things out, trying to get a group, breakaway. But as you can see, the breakaway, the front pack is now 12 cars. I think I can see 12 cars. So that's almost half the field. You can consider the front pack. I-11. That was a little close. For me, I feel it takes a good 2-3 laps for the tires to really get the proper temperature, get full grip. We're definitely there at this point. There's Frank Verano and number 56. Maloney Racing number 56 Wilmer. I believe he downshifted there getting into the boot. He had a heck of a run. Blasted by me on the exit. See Ryan Higgins up there in the other orange Protoform. That was the car Chris drove a few years ago when I was in this car. Ryan's enjoying that. And his dad's behind us, behind me there. The whole race, the whole weekend, everyone pretty much drove turn one properly. Myself and a few other people went over the curbing into that paved area, but only to catch the car. No one was purposely driving through turn one curbing onto there, which really shouldn't be allowed. But we all did good. So what are they there? 3 wide going into the bus stop. That was fun. Easy to catch up. There's Dean. Dean's prepping this orange car, keeping it going, getting it prepared each race for Chris, and it's definitely handling good. But momentum and drafting, that's what this is all about. Keeping your foot in it and making the pass. You can see in a matter of 2 turns you can lose 3 positions, or in a matter of 2 turns you can gain 4. So I already tried to pass Frank once, getting into 1. See, that didn't work out. Let's try again. Well, I almost lost it. Okay. Like I said, that's the only reason we should be going over there. Well, there goes Frank again, and there goes Kevin. You can see that there's some cars catching up to us as well, it appears, back there behind Dean. And we are again 3 wide, 4 wide. Huge hole of air. Tiptoe into the inner loop. It looks like this group is now 14 cars, if I'm counting correctly. My cameras are getting a little fuzzy with oil. You see Jack there behind Dean. And there's Kevin beside me. Plenty of grip on both lanes there. You know he's a good driver. I trusted him for staying on the inside. And let's try this one more time, Frank. Can I make it stick this time? I don't know. I downshifted. Let's try that. There's Eugene Grimes there on the right, wisely turning his rain light on. Guys, I'm over here. Don't run me over. So there's Ryan behind me. We'll get some orange on orange here. There we go, bump draft. Dean's got a big run into the bus stop. Yeah, it's fast getting in there. You have to get back on the gas right away. Keep the rear car stable. Sam right in front of me. Guy Bellingham in front of him, coming down from Canada. Garrett Milano there on the left up ahead. Give guy a little help up there. I think we have Matt Clark up there, a little bit of a gap over Trevor and Bill Ham. Here comes Guy and I, and then there's the yellow flag is out. So, you know, I saw the double yellow, hands up. Don't slow down too quickly, but slow down. Make sure you don't get run over. Make sure you don't run anyone else over. Come back down and take full course caution. If we were to rewind and look at my rear camera, you'll see that Ryan had a little side-by-side almost contact with another car, and while he was already at the limit, he needed to turn more to avoid contact, and you just can't do that. So he ended up spinning into the inside wall, making light contact, enough to damage the car though. No damage to the driver, of course, thankfully. The cars are pretty stout. So here I am trying to wipe the oil off my visor. You can see the oil on the camera. So at this point, it's like, okay, let's take a breath here. Up to 5th from 17th, that ain't bad. I'd be happy if the race ended right now. Well, can't be much of the race left at this point, I'm thinking. This race goes quickly. One thing I do try to do when we're driving slow, whether it be under full course caution or out lap or in lap, examine the track surface, the surrounding the track surface, the curbing, drive over the curbing, get a feel for it under slow speed, find bumps, irregularities, humps in the track. Things that you don't really pick up on when you're driving at full speed, but definitely have an effect on what's going on while you're out there. check the transition to the grass at the apexes and exits. Are there potholes you want to avoid maybe going off past the curbing? Sometimes you're okay, you can take it another foot further, but sometimes there's a 2-foot pothole there that's going to tweak your whole suspension. So if you're not going to do a track walk, look around now. Look around before you start racing. Look for oil. Well, this bunches us all up again, so we've got at this point I think 25 cars, 26 cars, nose to tail. Nascar racing at the Glen in Formula Vee'S. Matt Clark, Trevor Carmody, Guy Bellingham, Bill Hannum, myself, and Dean Curtis. Like I said yesterday, Bill won the race. It was his weekend. If you're just looking at a Formula V race here for the first time, it's one of the cheapest ways to get into racing, wheel racing. A lot of fun, family atmosphere. If you have a problem with your car, you're going to have multiple people surrounding you, helping you fix it, supplying parts, giving advice. It's the way to go. It's family. Organizations try to tell other classes as the entry level formula, but this is truly it right here, Formula V. We're just passing by Ryan there. NASCAR owns Watkins Glen. The employees, the trucks, the crew is mostly staffed by the same people that worked in NASCAR races, from what I understand. So they definitely know what they're doing. Not that the SCCA workers don't. Well, I would probably fast forward this if I wasn't doing some commentary, but there's no way I'm going to be able to figure out how to fast forward this video and blend in my commentary. I'll be talking about the end of the race with like 10 to go on the video. So at this point we have no idea if we're even going to go back to green. The lights are still on the pace car. It's a huge track. I'm sure there's a few people on the radio. I am not on the radio this weekend, so there's no one that really I can communicate and get information from. We just know if the lights go off on the pace car, we're going to be going green. He's going to win the pits and we'll be going green. But right now, it's hard to see, but the lights are still on. So as far as we know, we're going to continue around under yellow. See, I figured I'd try these curbs out here, and yeah, they're pretty rough. You don't want to drive over them when you're at speed, if you don't have to. At least not in these cars. Sure would be fun wheeling one of those heavy NASCARs around this track, that's for sure. Our cars are so light. Heavy car would want to just peel itself off the track there with all the G-forces and momentum. So here we go. We realize that the lights are now off. See if we can get a little temperature in the tires. We are going to be going green. it's a double-edged sword having a short finish to a race. You want to end racing, but people also tend to get a little crazy at the end there when there's maybe 1 or 2 laps to go. But this is a fun finish. Here we go. Green's out again. Again, the Mitchell Motors has some good power. Yeah, we got 3rd gear. Steep hill coming up. You see, there's a lot of side by side all the way through the pack. Jockeying for position. Working the draft. Trevor does not have a draft, and look how he swallowed up. Alright, up to 2nd, goes in 1st, Dean's in 3rd. From here on out, every time we come around to come across start finish, I'm hoping that this is it, right? That's got a heck of a run. Wait, I was just about to pass for a lead. Dang it. Alright, let's push it up the hill. Let's go. The 2 most obnoxious looking cars on the grid. Bill and Dean are having none of it though. White flag. This is it. Last lap. We've gotten through there better. Matt is pulling away. No, we've got it right. No, we don't. Well, here comes Sam. He's got a heck of a run. I'm not lifting up. Neither is he. There's grip for 2 of us. Plenty of room for 2 of us. Plenty of grip inside and outside. It's a drag race. 2 more turns. Sam says, nope, I got another shot. I said, yeah, you do. I said, oh my goodness. Got my foot in it. We lost some momentum there, as for sure. Not going to catch the front three now at this point. I just want to keep Sam behind me. Matt trying to break the draft. Sam trying to get a run. Look how close we are at least to finish. So that's NASCAR racing at the Glen and Formula V's. A lot of fun. At this point, it's like, wow, I can breathe. Did I breathe at all that whole time? So yeah, Matt first, Bill Hannum second, Dean third, I finished fourth, Sam fifth, Guy sixth. And it was a fun race, definitely a fun race. Thanks to Dean for prepping the car, keeping this orange car on track for Chris each weekend. It's definitely a good car. And him realizing that I brought it up from 17th. He was quite happy, as you'll see here. Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. I encourage anyone watching this that maybe wants to get involved with Formula V's or racing in general. Come on out and join us. Alright, next stop, Nelson Ledges, Ohio.